before 7. This is J. Paul Huddleston, KHJ 2020 News. A massive search in the South Central area early today for Angela Davis, following the report that her car had been seen near the home of black militant Franklin Alexander. Police Sergeant Haig telling KHJ's On the Search Scene reporter Scott Hodges.
The sergeant from Southwest Division located a Rambler station wagon that belonged to Angela Davis on 50th Street between Wall and San Pedro. We surrounded the area with the idea in mind that she may possibly be there. The FBI was contacted. They came to the scene. We eventually went into the house, and nobody was there.
Alexander's home was searched with the permission of his wife. Alexander said later when he returned that Miss Davis's car had been parked there for nearly 3 weeks and hadn't moved, but it was nowhere to be found this morning. Miss Davis is wanted for murder in connection with that fatal courthouse shooting in San Rafael 2 weeks ago. Linda in for more long questioning. Details upcoming on KHJ.
What is the answer you seek each day to find? Is it the answer you need for peace of mind? Could there be sorrow on a sunny summer day? Be trying to tell you with its gentle whisper and say there is an answer, and it's not too late. There is an answer. Aluminum chlorhydrate.
Aluminum chlorhydrate is the answer. It's an Arid Extra Dry, and it's the one spray ingredient that helps stop perspiration wetness best. Use Arid Extra Dry every day to be sure it has what you need to help stop perspiration wetness best. Arid Extra Dry.
Linda Kasabian will be back on the witness stand today for the 18th day of testimony in the Tate LaBianca murder trial. It had been predicted that she would wind up her testimony yesterday, but all hopes of that were dashed when Charles Manson's attorney, Irving Kenerick, launched what promised to be another extensive cross-examination of the witness. The new area concerns vibrations Mrs. Kasabian says she heard in her head during and right after the murders. And defense attorney Ronald Hughes told KHJ's covering reporter Bill Brown.
I think that anything that she says about her head and the universe and where she sees her role in condemning Manson certainly puts into good question her credibility.
A teenage girl has told a municipal court that murder suspect Danny Grozona had been living in that downtown Skid Row apartment 2 weeks before a police raid on the building that resulted in the fatal shooting of 2 unarmed Mexican nationals. This when police raided the apartment and searched for him. The officers, 5 from Los Angeles and 2 from San Leandro, are standing a preliminary hearing on manslaughter and assault charges stemming from the mistake shootings. The witness at the hearing, Barbara Gunderman, says the murder suspect used to go with her sister and that she had met the suspect at the apartment twice before the fatal shootings occurred. A liquor store along North Huntington Drive in El Sereno was bombed during the night. A city fire dispatcher telling 2020 News.
There was a bomb set in the parking lot, and it went off, and bomb fragments flew around and broke windows. And that's the extent of it.
The blast also smashed several other windows in the neighborhood, but there was no fire, no injuries, and no motive for the attack. Here's a message from your Southern California Gas Company.
Now, off to the left of our bus, we have the world-famous Hollywood Hills. Well, you can't see them today, actually, but that's where they are. And over there, that would be Mount Wilson, if you could see it. Now, over there, no, there, lady, there. That would be the downtown business section. Well, it's a little hard to make out today, but...
When you look out and can't find a mountain only a few miles away, you know Southern California hasn't beaten smog yet, even with the best programs of air pollution control in the country. We've been working on the problem at the gas company, and we're developing some answers. Specifically, natural gas for fleet vehicles. Any fleet with centrally located servicing and refueling. And natural gas costs less. It works, and it burns cleanly. It looks like the next logical step for Southern California. Maybe someday soon you'll be able to look out at the mountains and see the mountains. At the gas company, we're investing in tomorrow.
The tallest building in the city is over that way. Oh, no, it's over there. Well, you can almost tell.
It turns out the sea disposal of that deadly nerve gas didn't go quite so smoothly as expected. The Navy reports its spatial satellite navigation equipment lost track of the ship carrying the gas as it sank in the Atlantic off of the Florida coast. And elaborate experiments designed to determine whether any gas was released into the sea ended in failure. And the Navy has abandoned its efforts to make that determination. The Navy says there's no threat, however, to human life. The U.S. is advising Israel to hold back its charges that Egypt violated the ceasefire along the Suez Canal. The State Department says there is no definite proof at this time that Egypt moved missiles close to the line after the truce went into effect. The U.S. doesn't want Israel to upset the start of the peace talks at the United Nations with repeated charges that just cannot be proved. In New York City, two gunmen robbed actress Zsa Zsa Gabor of jewelry last night as she returned to her hotel room. New York City Police Sergeant John McGuire telling 2020 News.
They got a diamond ring, $500,000. Pair of diamond earrings, $100,000. And a turquoise ring, $25,000. That's $625 all told.
Miss Gabor was not harmed during the holdup that occurred in an elevator of the Waldorf Astoria. And it was the sound of bullets to mar the midnight hours in Akron, Ohio. These were the sounds as a mental patient, Vincent Amelia, held police off for some 6 hours with his stepson as a hostage after first killing his estranged wife and wounding 3 other persons before barricading himself in the home. Tear gas was finally lobbed in the house, and Amelia came out. The boy had been shot in the back, and he's reported to be in fair condition. From Al Albert Sports Desk, Sandy Vance returned to the Dodger lineup from Spokane last night and hurled them to a 7-2 win over St. Louis. Montreal came in with a 7-4 victory over Cincinnati. Claude Wright picked up his 17th win of the year last night as the Angels blasted Cleveland 12-1. Detroit trimmed Oakland 3-1, while Minnesota got by New York 8-7. In football, veteran Ram defensive end Greg Schumacher has been waived after X-rays showed that he suffered fractures of 2 vertebrae in his back last Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys. And in basketball, the Lakers report that Ernie Killam, second-round draft choice, has been sidelined with a dislocated foot and will be forced to miss the start of the club's practice sessions, which will begin next month. KHJ News Time, 6:49.
There's something new happening every morning in Los Angeles. At 10:15 sharp, the doors swing shut and the most exciting plane in the world is off to Chicago. The TWA 747. After you get used to having more room than you ever dreamed of, you settle back in one of our new custom-built seats. Your lunch is cooked to order in one of our 6 big kitchens and served by one of our many hostesses. After lunch, if you're traveling first class, you can even climb the spiral staircase to the penthouse lounge. Nearly 500,000 people have already flown TWA 747 over 1 billion passenger miles. Now you can fly TWA 747 from Los Angeles to Chicago. Somehow, you feel more important on TWA.
Now TWA 747s fly to Chicago every morning at 10:15. Starting September 1st, TWA will add a second 747 flight at 2 p.m. Los Angeles weather just ahead of much more music and Robert W. Morgan. Look for low clouds this morning, hazy sunshine this afternoon. We'll have a high today of 82, light smog in the basin. Here in Hollywood now, it's 60 degrees. This is J. Paul Huddleston, 2020 News. 93 KHJ.